From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Sunday is a First Alert weather day in the Kittitas Valleys. We could have peak wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. So that's just the lead right there. We'll touch on this more a little bit later in the show. And first, we're going to circle back to how things are for this morning, as we're now officially below freezing in the Tri-Cities for Hermiston, Yakima, Sunnyside, Ellensburg, all right around that threshold. So it could be a little bit frosty out there, but it is just too warm for that in places like Walla Walla and Pendleton and Lexington. So something we're going to continue to monitor throughout the rest of this morning. Here's your day planner forecast for today for lower elevations by lunchtime. Highs up into the 60s by the peak of daytime heating, up into the 60s and 70s. Lots of sunshine, another beautiful day just like yesterday was. And our highs are going to continue to stay warmer than normal for the next 7 days, with little chances of thunderstorms in the Blue Foothills and the Blue Mountains for Friday and Saturday. But the biggest impact from our weather over the next 7 days, obviously going to be the winds in the Kittitas Valley, but not just for Sunday. Saturday, Monday, and Tuesday, nothing to scoff at either. I'll talk about that coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, a major shakeup in Franklin County. We have why commissioners took jail control away from the sheriff, and also what it could mean for safety and oversight. Plus, a quiet Pierce County neighborhood shaken by gunfire. What we know so far after a young man was found dead in the street. Plus, a dangerous light in the sky leads to a dramatic arrest. How a Spokane Sheriff's helicopter crew helped catch the man accused of pointing a laser beam at the aircraft. It's all on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest, on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal. It is Thursday, April 24th. We want to start off with new information this morning. Pierce County deputies are investigating a deadly shooting that left one young man dead in a neighborhood. This happened just after 10:30 last night. Neighbors on 17th Avenue East reported hearing dozens of gunshots and then saw a man lying in the street. When deputies arrived, they found shell casings scattered through the cul-de-sac, with homes and cars struck by gunfire. The man, believed to be in his late teens to early 20s, was pronounced dead at the scene. No arrests have been made, and detectives are still searching for a suspect. A driver is facing DUI charges after crashing a Camaro into a garbage truck early Wednesday morning. Deputies say the driver was not hurt but was arrested at the scene. Investigators believe this could be the same reckless driver that neighbors have been calling in about in recent days. Now, the incident is under investigation. Now to a move that's turning heads. The county commissioners have officially stripped control of the jail and even courthouse security from longtime Sheriff Jim Raymond. Tensions were high inside the Franklin County Commission chambers as officials voted to take control of jail operations from the sheriff's office. There's no record of jail oversight being on any prior county commission agenda, but for many in the audience, the move feels rushed and risky, potentially putting lives in danger.
This county needs you to understand what these men and women go through. And they're telling you, I'm telling you today, rescind this. You go and work it out and show yourselves better. I want you to be better. I want you to be successful. But the voters have voted Jim Raymond as our sheriff.
The resolution set in motion the creation of a new county department, along with transferring equipment, updating policies, and assuming responsibility for courthouse security. And we have more details on this story up on our website. In the last year, the FBI says aircrafts at 2 Washington international airports have seen a dramatic increase in laser beams that are being pointed at aircrafts, and now authorities have arrested a 45-year-old man accused of just that near Spokane Airport. The Spokane Regional Air Support Unit says Air One was hit with a laser late Friday night while patrolling the area, and the crew was able to track the beam and guide ground officers to the suspect, who's named Rusty A. Flett. He was arrested in an open field, and officials say Flett may be connected to several earlier incidents dating back months. The investigation is ongoing, and while no injuries were reported, investigators stress that pointing a laser at aircrafts is a serious crime that can blind pilots and endanger lives. It's also a federal offense, carrying a maximum sentence of 5 years in prison and a $250,000 fine. Washington voters weighed in on key local measures in this month's special election, and this morning we're breaking down some of the most talked about issues and where the results currently stand. So first, in Yakima County, Prop 1 would fund a new emergency radio system. It's passing with almost 80% of voters saying yes, so there will be a 0.2% sales tax hike if this passes. In Benton County, voters were tasked to decide if a levy would pass for Findlay School District, and that would replace certain educational programs and operations. More than 60% of voters agreed. Now to Walla Walla County, there was Prop 1 for the Waitsburg School District proposition, and that was a capital project levy to enhancing safety and security for students. It doesn't look like that one will pass, with over 55% of voters saying no. Finally, to another proposition also in Walla Walla County, voters needed to decide if a new regional fire authority could become reality. That would be known as Walla Walla North County Fire, and almost 80% of voters said yes. Now for updates on demand, just head to our website, that's applevalleynewsnow.com. But talking more election news, Yakima Deputy Mayor Matt Brown says he's officially running for re-election to the City Council. Brown says he wants to continue representing his neighbors and hopes voters will rehire him for another 4 years. If re-elected, he says his priorities will include protecting property rights, opposing new taxes and regulations, supporting small businesses, and limiting government interference, all while focusing on fiscal discipline and local control. And keep it here, because coming up next, a teen's decision to donate a kidney sparks a chain reaction of life-saving surgeries. 5 lives changed forever, and it all started with one simple act of kindness. We have a story coming up, but first, our Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will have your first alert weather forecast. How is it looking this weekend? He'll have an early look in just a few minutes. We'll be right back after the break.
One of the best female groups of all time, En Vogue, in concert. Saturday, May 31st at Legends Casino Hotel. The multiple Grammy Award nominees with more than 20 million records sold worldwide. En Vogue. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com and Legends Gift Shop. Don't miss En Vogue live Saturday, May 31st at Legends Casino Hotel.
Fiction at J. Bookwalter presents the Chapter 2 Hospitality 2025 Concert Series. Live music in the best company, friends, food, and spirit at Fiction at J. Bookwalter now through October. Check our concert series lineup and times by going to bookwalterwines.com under the Shop tab, or use our QR code here. The Chapter 2 Hospitality 2025 Concert Series. Proceeds benefiting the Children's Hospital and WSU.
When uncertainty falls upon your freedom, you need an unwavering champion. We're dedicated to not just tipping the scales in your favor, but also delivering an unwavering and relentless defense. With over 5 decades of experience, we'll fiercely defend your freedom and secure the most favorable outcome. Your best defense, Quantum Legal.
All right, everybody. I know it's easy to forget things, but we don't want you to miss this new deal from US Cellular. Save big with our best price ever. Just $15 a line when you get 4 lines.
Ooh, I can save enough to buy a gift for my understanding wife.
Sorry, I'm late. Ooh, that's a great deal. I have a facial. This was fun.
Oh, come on. You have flowers?
Save big with our best price ever. Just $15 a line when you get 4 lines. US Cellular, built for us.
Have you heard about refractive lens exchange? K2 Vision RLE means no glasses, no contacts, and no readers permanently. And you'll never develop a cataract.
No glasses or readers. K2 Vision RLE.
American Idol is new from ABC.
Watch Sundays and Mondays on Apple Valley News Now. Sponsored locally by Prosser Memorial Health. This is how we care.
This newscast sponsored by Mariano Morales Law. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We do have freeze warnings that are in place for the lower Columbia Basin and for the Bluefoot Hills of Walla Walla County and Umatilla County. This runs until 9 a.m. So hopefully last night you took all those necessary precautions to protect the outdoor pets, the plants, and the plumbing. Okay, right now temperatures have gotten down pretty close to freezing in Ellensburg, below freezing in Cle Elum, and in the Yakima Valley we're we're right at freezing for Yakima and for Sunnyside, cutting it pretty close in Toppenish, and then in the lower Columbia Basin also we're seeing a handful of spots that are either at or just below freezing, including Tri-Cities, Hermiston, and Boardman. That's where it could be a little bit frosty, and in the Blue Foothills just a bit too warm for that, but in the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains it's certainly not too warm for that, as we're at 22 in Cabbage Hill and 26 in Ukiah. Here is your CoCast for today for the Tri-Cities. It's going to be light jacket weather for this morning, but later today it's going to be an easy wardrobe decision, as it is going to be t-shirt weather out there. Will be about 5 degrees warmer than normal for late April. That means low 70s in the Blue Foothills in the Kittitas Valley, mid 70s in the Yakima Valley, and in the lower Columbia Basin. So this is going to be a sunny and 75 kind of day in the Yakima Valley and in the Basin, and will be even warmer as we head into Friday and Saturday, and then the winds take over for this week, and I'll tell you just how strong some of those could be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Turning to Washington news, a teenager's selfless decision sparks a life-saving chain reaction. From Bethel to Mill Creek, we have how one 21-year-old's gift of life led to 5 successful kidney transplants and a room full of gratitude. We have a look at the incredible first meeting.
In this room, it's the first face-to-face meeting after life-saving surgeries.
I got the call 3 days before the surgery was supposed to happen.
Here are the photos of a 10-person kidney donation chain that all started with a teenager from Bothell.
If you can help, you should help. There's not much to it other than that.
That's what led Patrick Baldwin McCurdy to reach out to Providence Swedish.
He did come to us when he was 17, and we said, you're, obviously not of age.
Here, the rule is you have to be 21 to be a benevolent donor.
Thought, okay, I can wait until 21, and so I sent the email at 21.
At the Organ Transplant Center, that sparked more acts of kindness.
Another pair is able to come forward. They're not a match. They're able to donate to another pair.
Alejandra and Ricardo were caught in that ripple effect. The Mill Creek couple, married 37 years, had already received devastating news from doctors.
They say, you know what, you are almost dying. Go to the emergency room.
I was dying.
Ricardo's kidneys were failing. There were hospital visits and the dream of an organ transplant.
In the beginning, I was hopeless because I said, who's going to give it to me?
His wife did not hesitate. Ready to give him her kidney, she filled out this form with her reason why.
For love, because I love him so much.
But she wasn't a match. Instead, the couple joined the donation chain, where Alejandra was able to save a man named Harry. Ricardo is alive thanks to Derek.
I just want to say thank you, my doctor, you, to everyone.
A total of 5 lives were saved thanks to what Patrick started.
I think seeing all the people that I've helped, it's been life-changing.
A selfless act is now offering new hope.
Such a heartwarming story. I love that one. We'll keep it here because we have more coming up next. Josh will be back with your full weather forecast. How's it looking for this weekend? He'll have an early look right after the break.
If you have heart failure or chronic kidney disease, Farxiga can help you keep living life, because there are places you'd like to be. Serious side effects include increased ketones in blood or urine and bacterial infection between the anus and genitals, both which may be fatal. Severe allergic reactions, dehydration, urinary tract or genital yeast infections, and low blood sugar. Stop taking and tell your doctor right away if you have nausea, vomiting, stomach pain, tiredness, rash, swelling, trouble breathing or swallowing. Tell your doctor about lightheadedness, weakness, fever, pain, tenderness, redness or swelling between the anus and genitals. Ask your doctor about Farxiga today.
Farxiga.
Okay, y'all, we got 10 orders coming in.
Starting a business is never easy, but starting at 8 months pregnant, that's a different story. I couldn't slow down. We were starting a business from the ground up. People were showing up left and right, and so did our business needs. The Chase e-card made it easy. When you go for something big like this, your kids see that, and they believe they can do the same.
Earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase with the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card from Chase for Business. Make more of what's yours.
Which automaker employs the most hourly workers in the country? Ford. Which automaker assembles the most vehicles in the country? Ford. That's not a coincidence. It's a commitment. A commitment Ford dealers share by offering employee pricing across a full lineup of Ford vehicles.
Now get employee pricing available across a full lineup of Ford trucks and SUVs. Employee pricing, you pay what we pay. Only from your local Ford dealer.
American Idol is new on ABC.
Watch Sundays and Mondays on Apple Valley News Now. Sponsored locally by Prosser Memorial Health. This is how we care.
Ready for a weekend family getaway?
A lot of people come out to go fishing, wakeboarding, water skiing, jet skiing. You can do pretty much all your water sports.
Well then, you'll want to watch Fly the Northwest. Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday.
Want a family 4-pack of tickets to Dust Devils baseball? Enter right now on our mobile app or click on contests at applevalleyNewsNow.com.
Enter to win Dust Devils baseball tickets for Friday, May 2nd, now at applevalleyNewsNow.com.
Hello there. Watch live with Kelly and Mark.
Weekday mornings at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Today's not a first alert weather day, but Sunday will be in the Kittitas Valleys. We can see peak wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. So that's the end of the story. Let's show you how we build up to that. We're going to start off for today with another beautiful one out there. We're going to have lots of sunshine. We'll have highs that'll be about 5 degrees warmer than normal for late April. Breezes out of the north and east for the Bluefoot Hills and Blue Mountains, out of the south and east for the Cascades and the Kittitas Valley. Those peak winds will be around 20 to 30 miles per hour. Nothing substantial. And then for tonight, some leftover breezes up in the Cascades. Other than that, light winds, clear skies, overnight lows down into the 40s. So you probably won't have to take those steps to protect the outdoor pets, the plants, or the plumbing. Now for tomorrow, there's going to be a little chance of some thunderstorms in the Blue Mountains. We'll show you that with Futurecast. This is 4 p.m. for tomorrow. Futurecast trying to pick up on some of those. It's a pretty low wind chance, and then into the evening, maybe a few of those spread into the Blue Foothills. But it's not just going to be pretty dry over the next 48 hours. It's honestly going to be pretty dry over the next 7 days. Our next best chance of rainfall is going to come on Tuesday, but we're going to hold off on talking about that one for now, as I want to, of course, touch on the wind gusts. Now, again, the first alert weather days for Sunday, but even Saturday is going to feature some very strong winds gusting out of the northwest around 50 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley. But of course, Sunday is going to be the big day, as they could gust around 60 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley, around 50 miles per hour in the Bluefoot Hills of Morrow County. So if we saw spotty power outages, down tree limbs, difficult travel for high-profile vehicles, all that's going to be on the table. And it's also going to be pretty windy on Monday and Tuesday, but we just have to take this a couple days at a time at this point. We'll be about 10 degrees above average for Friday and Saturday. Then really that series of storm systems is going to grind down our temperatures a little bit, but we'll still be above average for this time of the year. Here's the 7-day forecast in the Tri-Cities. Maybe our first 80-degree days of 2025 on Friday and Saturday, then slightly cooler for Sunday and beyond. In Yakima, breezes pick up Friday and Saturday, but it'll turn especially windy on Sunday. Other than that, a very pleasant 7-day forecast. In Ellensburg, a string of very windy days from Saturday through Tuesday, with the strongest winds, of course, being on Sunday. Maybe some relief by next Wednesday. In Hermiston, trending warmer over the next few days, slightly cooler for Sunday and beyond, but still very nice spring weather. Then for Walla Walla, a little chance of a thunderstorm on Saturday, dry and room temperature Sunday and Monday, then a decent shower chance for Tuesday.
Coming up next at Good Morning Northwest, Kendrick Lamar proving he's not like us. once again racking top nominations for the American Music Awards, but one artist is following close behind. We have who it is and who else you can expect to see at the awards coming up in your entertainment news.
Gather the family and come on down to the 62nd Annual Parade of Gems, April 25th through the 27th in the Modern Living Building at the Fairgrounds. Go back in time as we present fossils of the Northwest and beyond. See demonstrations on gold panning, wire wrapping, lapidary, and more. Dozens of vendors will be offering rock and mineral specimens and jewelry too. There will be games, door prizes, and more. Doors open at 10 a.m. Come one, come all to the 62nd Annual Parade of Gems, April 25th through the 27th at the Fairgrounds in Yakima.
This year, Walker's Furniture is turning spring cleaning into spring savings with an indoor garage sale where you can save store-wide up to 70% off clearance items, and new markdowns are arriving daily as we clean out the warehouses with big savings on closeouts, ding and dents, and floor model furniture at garage sale prices. Plus, special financing is available, so you can save big now and pay over time. But hurry up, this is your last chance for final markdowns.
This week at Walker's.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time for a different kind of power. Whether you choose an electric Honda or a hybrid, from the Kelley Blue Book Best Overall EV and Hybrid brand. Right now, you can get a 2.49% APR on a 2025 Accord Hybrid.
At Moore Furniture, our new 2025 M. Lily collection of premium mattresses is arriving soon. To make room, all remaining 2024 M. Lily mattresses must go. Right now, get factory direct pricing on all styles and sizes of our 2024 M. Lily mattresses. You'll find the entire lineup under $1,000 with pricing starting at $399, including free shipping. That's a minimum of 33% off, with some models priced at even greater savings. Visit any of our local Moore Furniture showrooms and take home your favorite M. Lily mattress today.
To all of these men, I want to say that football is not just a game, but a way of life.
Prosser Memorial Health reminds you to watch this year's NFL Draft. The draft begins today on Apple Valley News Now. Prosser Memorial Health. This is how we care. It's the mother of all giveaways, where one lucky viewer wins this awesome Mother's Day collection. Check it out. Enter to win each day on the contest page at AppleValleyNewsNow.com. From Jewelry Design Center, The Flower Bar, Curve Appeal, Fiction, and AppleValleyNewsNow.com.
A great place for a family getaway. Fly the Northwest at 6 Tuesday.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. In your entertainment headlines, we're talking movies, and coming this July, you can see John Cena and also his co-star Idris Elba in Amazon's newest action film.
Also, Kendrick Lamar will have a hard time staying humble after he swept the American Music Awards nominations, but another artist is trailing close behind.
Who is it? Well, Zoreen Shaw has that and the latest on what's happening in Hollywood.
The nominations for the American Music Awards are now out, and rapper Kendrick Lamar has landed 10 noms in total, including for categories like Artist of the Year, Album of the Year, and Song of the Year. Post Malone got 8 nominations after just wrapping up his stint headlining the Coachella Music Festival.
Mr. Prime Minister.
Mr. President.
John Cena is the American president, and Idris Elba is the British Prime Minister in the new action flick Heads of State. A new trailer shows the two stars forced to team up to take down a global conspiracy. Look for it on Prime Video July 2nd.
I mean, it is a little creepy, but the curls are super soft. It's made from real human hair.
The upcoming season of the Netflix series Wednesday now has a release date. The Addams Family spin-off will air its first batch of episodes August 6th, with the second half of the season coming September 3rd. And you may know her from Yentl or Funny Girl, or the 1975 version of A Star is Born. Either way, Barbara Streisand is 83 today. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. Zoreen Shaw, ABC News Los Angeles.
All right, Post Malone trailing behind Kendrick Lamar. Not surprised.
Yeah, I haven't heard from Post Malone in a while.
I've lately been listening to more Kendrick, surprisingly, right? No, there's good music out right now, but Post Malone, I liked his, I think it was 2 albums ago, the Beer Bongs and Bentleys one. So
I listened to Sunflower this morning. It was on my playlist, and so yeah.
Look at
listened
that.
to Posty this morning.
Good. You're transitioning out of Kendrick Lamar, right? Nope.
No, I will never do that.
I'll keep it here because coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, local port leaders join forces to give people an inside look at some major projects that are coming to the Tri-Cities. We have what they shared and why business leaders are paying close attention. The details are coming up in your next half hour.
First, at Shriners Children's, the world's most advanced scoliosis procedures are born here. In fact, we deliver access to the world's best doctors for nearly every pediatric orthopedic condition. We're delivering care without compromise is our promise. And kids can just be kids. Because being first always starts with empowering the extraordinary. Shriners Children's, the most amazing care anywhere.
When it comes to legal matters, you need someone you can trust. At Morphine Law Firm, we are sincerely grateful for the last 5 years of trust and support you've given our firm. Your trust and support have been a major driving force behind our mission for justice. We offer free consultations, and we may not always tell you what you want to hear, but we try to steer you in the right direction. We appreciate your continued trust and confidence in Morphine Law Firm.
Saturday, April 26th, get the best deals on wristbands for the best week of summer. Come to Ranch and Home in Kennewick and get your Carnival wristbands for only $30. The fun of the Benton Franklin Fair and Rodeo lasts 5 days, but this sale is 1 day only. So don't miss out on these savings. Saturday, April 26th at Kennewick Ranch and Home. Learn more at bentonfranklinfair.com.
McCurley Dealerships is celebrating 44 years with big giving and even bigger savings. Fill out an entry form at any McCurley dealership for a chance to win one of 2 $4,400 cash prizes. Plus, each winner gets an additional $4,400 to donate to one of 44 local nonprofit partners. No purchase necessary. And get special financing as low as 0.9% on a new Mazda CX-90. McCurley Mazda, celebrating 44 years of savings, giving back, and helping you find your way home.
Wish your home looked something like this? Or this? How about this? Well, wish no more, because getting the home of your dreams is easy during the home makeover sale at Furniture Row. Right now, every sofa, dining group, and bed is on sale. Like the Levita, only $449. The Skylar sofa, only $899. The Acorn Hill dining set for only $549. And get 30% off our Doctor's Choice Elite lineup. Or get 60 months no-interest financing. The home makeover sale, on now at Furniture Row.
McCurley Dealerships is celebrating 44 years with big giving and even bigger savings. Fill out an entry form at any McCurley dealership for a chance to win one of 2 $4,400 cash prizes. Plus, each winner gets an additional $4,400 to donate to one of 44 local nonprofit partners. No purchase necessary. And get a great deal on a new 2025 Chevy Silverado. Save over $4,400 off MSRP. McCurley Chevrolet, celebrating 44 years of savings, giving back, and helping you find your way home.
Operation Best Friend, sponsored by the Manthei Group Cross Country Mortgage.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest. On your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
All right, J. Cole on the beat.
Yes.
He just did that during break, so I had to do it. But we're talking cash with Culprit and 3-degree guarantee. How's it looking?
I got a very nice email from a viewer yesterday, and the subject line was Cash McColbrith.
Cash McColbrith. That's
so
even
shout
better.
out to Brady for your
Sounds
very
like
kind.
a McDonald's menu item.
Yeah, it's like on the McValue menu,
Look
right?
at that.
But anyway, speaking of value, the value of the 3-degree guarantee, the jackpot's going up. Now it's $225. So again, thanks to our friends at the Legends Casino and Hotel for sponsoring this segment, but yeah, yesterday I went with a forecast high of 71 in Pasco Tri-Cities. It verified at 69 degrees, so the jackpot did go up to $225. For today, a toastier forecast, so I'm going with a forecast of 76 in Pasco Tri-Cities. If the actual high verifies between 73 to 79, the jackpot's going to be up to $250,000, $250. But if that doesn't happen, the jackpot could be yours. So find out how to win the jackpot by heading on over to AppleValleyNewsNow.com, clicking on the contest page, or you can scan the QR code that's on your screen. Okay, now what's on your screen is this. It's First Alert Weather Day, not for today, but Sunday in the Kittitas Valley. Some of those peak wind gusts could be up around 60 miles per hour. So we're really just trying to hammer this point home as we head into the weekend. More on that later in the show. But first, for this morning, could be a little bit frosty for some lower elevations out there. Tri-Cities, Hermiston, Sunnyside, Yakima, Ellensburg, all cutting it very close to that freezing 32-degree threshold. So again, could be a little bit frosty. Here's your hour-by-hour forecast for today for the Tri-Cities. Lots of sunshine all throughout the day, even warmer compared to yesterday, as we'll be about 5 degrees warmer than normal for late April. That means low 70s in the Kittitas Valley and the Blue Foothills, mid 70s in the Yakima Valley and in the lower Columbia Basin. So if you like sunny and 75 weather, that's my favorite kind of weather, then you're going to love today's forecast. And to underscore that, I'll take you on a zone-by-zone tour of today's very nice forecast, and that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Talking local news now, the Tri-City Regional Chamber brought together local leaders yesterday for a special luncheon featuring updates from our region's port districts. Representatives from the ports of Pasco, Kennewick, and Benton shared updates on economic development and future projects, and the event drew a full house, including business owners, elected officials, and community members, all looking to learn what's ahead for the Tri-Cities. Port of Pasco Executive Director Adam Lincoln says these events are a critical way to stay connected to the community.
I think so few people pay attention to what's happening in local government. It's so far from their minds. They hear the national headlines all the time, and this is a way to hear how your tax dollars are really being spent, or what's happening in your community on a very personal level.
Lincoln touched on several exciting initiatives, from the ongoing airport expansion to the development of Osprey Point, and even hinted at potential new businesses that could be coming to the area. The Tri-City Regional Chamber regularly hosts events like this to keep the community in the loop and foster local collaboration. In Richland now, the school board is taking steps to eliminate references to race in its curriculum policy. During its regular meeting, the board unanimously voted to begin phasing out the policy, with leaders saying it's not required by the state and is considered outdated.
From the safeguards of the district and from the community, there are things in place that make sure that there are safeguards to where this particular Richland specific policy is redundant in the other steps that we utilize to make sure that the curriculum is approved curriculum for what our community is looking for.
Board Vice President Jill Olson says the district is still welcoming community feedback before moving forward with additional changes. Now, one of the most popular grocery stores is adding a new spot in the Evergreen State. Talking Trader Joe's, it's officially coming to Bellingham. The company's parent, Aldi Nord, announced plans to open 21 new stores across the country, and Bellingham made the cut. The new location will be at 4255 Meridian Street, inside the old Bed Bath & Beyond building. No official opening date yet, but it is already listed under Coming Soon on the Trader Joe's website. Now, coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, with fentanyl use on the rise, a major drug bust made in Oregon as law enforcement working together to crack down on the growing epidemic. We'll have more details coming up after the break.
The 3-Degree Guarantee, sponsored by Legends Casino Hotel.
Getting the home of your dreams is easy during the home makeover sale at Furniture Row. Find great deals on every sofa, every bed, and every dining group. Or get 60 months no-interest financing. The home makeover sale, on now at Furniture Row.
Hi, I'm Rowdy with Total Energy Management. For 40 years, we've been keeping the Tri-Cities comfortable with top-notch heating and air conditioning services. We take pride in delivering exceptional service and unbeatable deals. Right now, you can save big with up to $4,900 in rebates and tax credits on a new Carrier heating and cooling system. So turn to the experts at Total Energy Management to ensure your house has the perfect temperature year-round. Visit TEMINC.com or call 946-4500 to learn more.
We think three-pointers should be called triple play.
And we brought in a basketball expert to support us.
Just former college and pro star Rob Sacre. So, Rob, what do we call, one of these?
Triple play. You know, shooting triple plays wasn't exactly my specialty.
Well, outside shooters are well outside our budget.
Triple Play has fun attractions for everyone, including go-karts, mini golf, and many more, all attached to a cozy hotel.
Rob, how did you score?
Whether you're injured on the road or on the job, the big dogs at Brumback and Autumn will get you the full compensation. Leave nothing on the table. Brumback and Autumn, Bulldog Tough.
Which automaker employs the most hourly workers in the country? Ford. Which automaker assembles the most vehicles in the country? Ford. That's not a coincidence. It's a commitment. A commitment Ford dealers share by offering employee pricing across a full lineup of Ford vehicles.
Now get employee pricing available across a full lineup of Ford trucks and SUVs. Employee pricing, you pay what we pay. Only from your local Ford dealer.
I was a resident here. Think of me as one of you. You're unbelievable. So unbelievable.
Prosser Memorial Health reminds you, watch Grey's Anatomy tonight. Prosser Memorial Health, this is how we care.
It's the 30th anniversary sale at Denver Mattress. And that means 30% off all Doctor's Choice mattresses. Check out the Colorado Twin for only $149.99 or score 60 months no interest and free shipping. But hurry, the 30th anniversary sale at Denver Mattress ends soon.
It's time to lose your generic weather app. Scan this QR code to download the Apple Valley News Now First Alert Weather app. It's the app you need from the team you trust.
The Apple Valley News Now First Alert Weather app, only from Apple Valley News Now, on your side.
Don't mind me being out of breath. I just sprinted to get here. Next live, Michael Urie plus Edie Patterson. And Friday, Oprah.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Today is going to be another gorgeous day out there as we'll have lots of sunshine. High temperatures even warmer than yesterday, as we'll be about 5 degrees warmer than normal for late April. That means we'll be in the mid-60s up in the Cascades. We'll be right around 70 degrees in the Kittitas Valley. The winds will be out of the south and east around 25 miles per hour for both the valley and the mountains. Then in the Yakima Valley, light winds here, mostly sunny skies, high temperatures around 75 degrees. And then in the lower Columbia Basin, again, it's some of that sunny and 75 weather that I was talking about. I'm going with the specific high in Tri-Cities I'm going with is 75 degrees. We'll be a little bit closer to 70, closer to the gorge, but I mean, in general, just a nice and sunny day. The same thing for the Blue Foothills. Temperatures right around 70. We'll be into the 60s for the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains, but also plenty of sunshine. A little bit breezy for the Blue Foothills, winds out of the north and east around 25 miles per hour. Get out there and enjoy today because it is going to be a superb one. Now let's talk about the big picture. Seasonal rainfall deficits and surpluses we've been tracking since October 1st. We're seeing surpluses in the Kittitas and Yakima Valleys, a very good surplus in the lower Columbia Basin, but unfortunately a deficit, a seasonal rainfall deficit in the Blue Foothills. We do have some rainfall on the way, at least some rain chances on the way. It doesn't look like it's going to be very much, and that's going to come along with some big-time wind gusts for this weekend. I'll tell you about those coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Taking you to Oregon now, where a major drug bust was made. Portland police and DEA officials say the amount of fentanyl that they found could have killed more than 1 million people. Julia Lopez has the details and how the officials are working together.
Open-air drug markets and Honduran cartels are the target of a task force working to get fentanyl off the streets of Portland. In 5 to 6 missions conducted since January, the team has already seized almost as much fentanyl as Portland police confiscated in the entirety of 2024.
We at DEA consider 2 milligrams of fentanyl to be a potentially lethal dose. The fentanyl seized by our team in this case could have yielded over 1.5 million lethal doses. That's enough to kill everyone in Portland twice.
Portland Police, the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office, and District Attorney are collaborating with the FBI, the DEA, and the U.S. Attorney's Office through the High Intensity Drug Trafficking Area Program.
We take somebody into custody maybe for a minor possession, but they're willing to talk to us about where they bought the drugs from, and we can begin to work up the ladder. And that's where we need the support of these folks, you know, when we can get to the next level, the next level, the next level.
With a focus on Portland's Goose Hollow and Lentz neighborhoods, Chief Day says the task force allows them to go after the traffickers at the top.
Sinaloa cartel is one of our major targets at DEA and for everyone behind us. So we try to attack the hierarchy as well as the mid-level traffickers, the wholesalers, and then down to the street-level dealers.
They say the Sinaloa cartel pushes drugs throughout the region out of Portland and even use children to sell fentanyl on the streets, something the DEA says is disturbingly prevalent here.
We've seen kids 14, 15 years old on numerous occasions trying to sell drugs to our undercover agents and confidential informants. They're being exploited by these cartel members. Oftentimes we've seen them carrying backpacks full of fentanyl because they have no place else to put it.
It's exploitation that officials aim to stop with missions like this. So far this year, they've made 46 arrests and seized more than $204,000 in cash, 44 pounds of fentanyl powder, and 2,507 fentanyl pills.
Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, we've got your morning sprint just ahead. Everything you need to know before you head out the door. And Josh will be back with your full First Alert forecast. Keep it here. We'll be right back in just a few minutes.
Like most people, my days are nonstop. When I'm working, I need to stay focused. Not worried about my finances. That's why I went looking for a bank that makes managing my money effortless. Apple was exactly what I needed. Helpful people with easy-to-use tools. Now, I spend less time stressing about money and more time doing the things I enjoy. Where do you credit union?
Did you know Astria Health has the only team of neurosurgeons in the Lower Valley? Patients no longer need to travel long distances to receive the spine care they need. Patients with spinal tumors, stenosis, herniated or degenerative disc diseases, spine trauma, fractures, or spinal cord injury can be seen by an Astria neurosurgeon in Prosser, Sunnyside, or Zillah. Ask your primary care provider for a referral to one of our neurosurgeons. Astria Health, exceptional rural health care close to home.
McCurley Dealerships is celebrating 44 years with big giving and even bigger savings. Fill out an entry form at any McCurley dealership for a chance to win one of 2 $4,400 cash prizes. Plus, each winner gets an additional $4,400 to donate to one of 44 local nonprofit partners. No purchase necessary. And get a great deal on a new 2025 Subaru Forester for only $244 a month. McCurley Subaru, celebrating 44 years of savings, giving back, and helping you find your way home.
Have you heard about refractive lens exchange? K2 Vision RLE means no glasses, no contacts, and no readers permanently. And you'll never develop a cataract.
No glasses or readers. K2 Vision RLE.
Meet the Moore family. They switched from cable internet to Ziply Fiber and got so much more. Mr. Moore got more upload speed for next level gaming and live streaming to the masses. Mason Moore got even more done for his sneaker business, quickly uploading HD product demos and video conferencing without freezing.
Brad, you're on mute.
And now that her family doesn't need her for tech support, Mrs. Moore has more time to stream games into overtime.
Let's go!
Get more of what you love by switching to Ziply Fiber for $65 less per month than cable at ziplyfiber.com.
It's the More Furniture Grand Reopening event in the Tri-Cities. Our entire showroom has been given a makeover from floor to ceiling. It's been reimagined and redesigned to give you a furniture shopping experience like no other. You're going to find exactly what you need, no matter what you need. And best of all, during the Grand Reopening event, you'll get 72 months interest-free financing on your entire purchase over $19.99. Come experience the More Furniture difference for yourself. Visit the new Tri-Cities showroom today.
Celebrate Walla Walla is back June 19th through 21st. 3 days of world-class wine. Tour vineyards with winemakers. Expand your palate and don't miss the block party. This is Walla Walla Valley at its finest. Tickets are on sale now. Secure yours today.
Wendy Redmond, Austin Reed, Stacy Lee Weather. Apple Valley News Now, on your side. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Sunday is going to be a first alert weather day in the Kittitas Valleys. We could have peak wind gusts up around 60 miles per hour. That's how the story is going to end, but here's how the story starts. It's going to be a phenomenal day for today. We'll have lots of sunshine. High temperatures about 5 degrees warmer than normal. We'll have breezes out of the north and east for the Blue Foothills, out of the south and east for the Kittitas Valley and the Cascades. Those peak winds are going to be between 20 to 30 miles per hour, nothing substantial. Then for tonight, some leftover breezes up in the Cascades, but other than that, calm winds, clear skies, overnight lows down into the 40s for lower elevations, so you probably won't have to protect the outdoor pets, plants, or the plumbing. Now for tomorrow, we'll show you tomorrow with Futurecast. This is 11 a.m. and we're going to have little chances of thunderstorms in the Blue Mountains. This is around 4 p.m. Futurecast trying to pick up on it. It's going to be a low-end chance of a few thunderstorms into the evening. Maybe some of those could spread into the Blue Foothills, but in general, it's going to be pretty dry over the next 24 to 48 hours. Really, it's going to be pretty dry over the next 7 days. Our next best chance of rainfall is going to be on Tuesday, but we'll get to that when we get to that. For now, I want to focus in on this weekend, as the biggest impacts to our weather this weekend not going to be in the form of shower or thunderstorm chances, but it's going to be in the form of some very gusty winds. Now, obviously, Sunday is the day we're really concerned about, but Saturday, nothing to scoff at as well. Look at this. Maybe some winds gusting around 50 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley, but definitely the Coup de Grace is going to be on Sunday, as some of those winds could be around 60 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley, around 50 miles per hour in the Blue Foothills of Morrow County. So if we did see spotty power outages, down tree limbs, difficult travel for high-profile vehicles, that's all certainly going to be on the table. Oh, by the way, it's going to be pretty windy for Monday and Tuesday as well, but it does look like Sunday is going to be the peak. High temperatures about 10 degrees above average for Friday and Saturday. Then those atmospheric waves are going to grind our temperatures down, but will still be above average for Sunday through Wednesday. So if you look past the winds, it's still going to be a very nice forecast over these next 7 days. Speaking of the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities, maybe our first 80-degree days of 2025 on Friday and Saturday, then slightly cooler for Sunday and beyond. In Yakima, breezes pick up Friday and Saturday, but it'll turn especially windy on Sunday. Other than that, a very pleasant 7-day forecast. In Ellensburg, a string of very windy days from Saturday through Tuesday, again with the strongest winds on Sunday. And then in Hermiston, trending warmer over the next few days, slightly cooler for Sunday and beyond, but still very nice spring weather. Then for Walla Walla, a little chance of a thunderstorm on Saturday, dry and room temperature Sunday and Monday, then a decent shower chance for Tuesday. Now let's head out to New York City to see what's ahead on Good Morning America.
In this morning's GMA First Look, Karen Reed back in court. In her now second trial, Karen Reed facing second-degree murder charges, accused of hitting her boyfriend, John O'Keefe, with her SUV and leaving him for dead in another officer's yard during a blizzard in 2022. John O'Keefe's mother now breaking her 3-year silence, describing already suspecting Karen Reed that day at the hospital.
I hear Karen Reed yell, "Peg, is he dead? Is he dead, Peg? Peg, is he dead?"
Also on the stand, Kerry Roberts, one of John O'Keefe's oldest friends.
Could you ever have imagined driving that snowy, blizzardy January morning in 2022 that this would be your future?
And coming up at 7 a.m., more of my exclusive interview with Kerry Roberts with your GMA First Look. I'm Matt Gutman, ABC News, Los Angeles.
For people who feel limited by the unpredictability of generalized myasthenia gravis, season to season, Ultomiris is continuous symptom control with improvement in activities of daily living and reduced muscle weakness. And Ultomiris is the only long-acting GMG treatment with the freedom of just 6 to 7 infusions per year for a predictable routine. I can count on.
Ultomiris may lower your immune system's ability to fight infections, increasing your chance of serious meningococcal and other infections, which may become life-threatening or fatal. Complete or update meningococcal vaccines at least 2 weeks before you start. If treatment is urgent and you're not vaccinated, you should receive antibiotics with your vaccines. Don't start if you have a meningococcal infection. Infusion reactions may include back, belly, limb, or chest pain, muscle spasms, blood pressure changes, tiredness, shaking chills, bad taste, breathing problems, or face, tongue, or throat swelling. Ultomiris is continuous symptom control. Ask your neurologist about starting Ultomiris.
Now, the morning sprint.
Time is now 6:49. It's time for your morning sprint. We're going to start off with your national headlines. At least 9 people have been killed with more than 60 wounded from Russian strikes on Ukraine's capital, Kyiv, early this morning. At least 42 people were taken to the hospital, including 6 children, and that's according to Ukrainian officials. President Zelensky, who's traveling in South Africa, saying he would cancel part of his visit and return to Ukraine earlier than expected. And this comes amid intensifying negotiations to end the war, with White House officials pressuring Zelensky and Ukraine to accept a potential peace plan that may include ceding land to Russia. President Trump accusing Zelensky of prolonging the, quote, killing field yesterday. And President Trump went on a signing frenzy yesterday, signing 7 executive orders on education. One order targets the government's process for deciding what colleges can access billions of dollars in federal student loans and Pell Grants. It also directs the AG and Secretary of Education to investigate unlawful discrimination by higher education institutions. Also signed an EO aimed at bringing artificial intelligence into grade schools, and one which threatens to cut off federal funding for schools that fail to disclose where their foreign money is coming from. In your business news, Honda is recalling over 150,000 Acura SUVs, and this is because of a fault in the tailgate lid that could cause the exterior and interior lights to fail. The recall includes the Acura MDX model years of 2014 through 2020, and dealers will fix the problem free of charge. Letters will go out to owners at the end of May. And many wealthy people have lost millions or even billions of dollars this year, but some would have lost even more had they not offloaded stock prior to President Trump's tariff announcement. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg, also Oracle CEO and JP Morgan CEO were among the top 10 stock sellers during the first 3 months of the year. Together, they sold more than $1.5 billion worth of their own company stock, and there's no proof that they knew the tariff announcement was coming. In your health news, a new study suggests that having metabolic syndrome may raise the risk of developing dementia at a young age. A person is diagnosed with this if they have at least 3 specific risk factors. Factors include a large waistline, high blood pressure, high blood sugar, high blood triglycerides, and low levels of HDL, or what's known as good cholesterol. For the study, researchers analyzed over a decade's worth of data on nearly 2 million people. They found those who had metabolic syndrome were 24% more likely to develop dementia before the age of 65. It's important to note the study was observational, which means the authors cannot confirm metabolic syndrome caused the dementia. Talking sports now, as pro football fans are already likely aware, the 2025 NFL Draft kicks off tonight. It'll be held in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and the Tennessee Titans have the first pick. That'll kick off a selection process where 257 college players will be chosen by teams over 7 rounds. You can watch it live on ESPN or the NFL Network. And the Seattle Mariners took the win against the Boston Red Sox last night. Final score 8-5. They take them on again this morning in Boston at Fenway Park. Turning now to your top 5 local stories that you need to know this morning. First up, Franklin County commissioners have stripped control of jail and courthouse security from Sheriff Jim Raymond. Tensions were high during Tuesday's meeting as leaders voted to shift jail operations away from the sheriff's office. There was no prior agenda notice, and many in the audience expressed concern over the sudden move. Critics say it feels rushed and could put lives at risk. And to see more details on this, visit our website. And Yakima City Council held a study session with county commissioners to talk about their homeless coalition. The Human Services Director confirms the homeless population for Yakima is trending below the state level, but it's above the national numbers. YPD says homeless calls take about 40 minutes and cost over $500,000. Pierce County deputies are investigating a shooting that left one young man dead in a neighborhood. This happened just after 10:30 last night. Neighbors on 17th Avenue East reported hearing dozens of gunshots and then saw a man lying in the street. When deputies arrived, they found shell casings scattered with homes and cars struck by gunfire. The man was pronounced dead at the scene. No arrests have been made, and detectives are still searching for a suspect. A driver is facing DUI charges after crashing a Camaro into a garbage truck early yesterday morning. Deputies say the driver was not hurt but was arrested at the scene. Investigators believe this could be the same reckless driver that neighbors have been reporting in the last recent days, and the incident is under investigation. Also, if you have yard waste or debris piling up, this weekend is your chance to get rid of it safely and also for free. Yakima's West Valley Fire Rescue will be on hand this Saturday to collect yard waste and other items like cardboard, landscaping debris, wood pallets, and much more. It's at 10,000 Zier Road from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. They will not be accepting large appliances, electronics, or hazardous waste. Trending this morning now, the people at the Nashville Zoo are as happy as a pig in mud because they have a new Red River piglet.
So you could have said that in your Texas accent. Happier
A Red River piglet?
No, I was happier than
happier than a pig in a mud.
There we go.
In mud.
In a mud, right.
Go on, Josh.
Officials there say the male named Chive, right?
Chives? Now it's a British accent name.
Yes, was born April 1st, April Fool's Day, and is now about the size of a cantaloupe.
Oh my goodness.
Zoo officials say his birth came as a bit of a surprise as they did not expect second-time mother Tater to give birth so
goodness.
soon.
I love
these names.
Jinx, you owe me a soda. Okay.
Yeah.
You owe me bacon. No, just kidding. Just kidding.
Oh, no.
So staff found him weak, cold, and covered in afterbirth, so they stepped in and will raise him since the mother was not interested in caring for him or allowing him to nurse. And zoo officials say they stepped in just in time to warm and feed him.
Oh, well, Red River hogs are native to rainforest in West and Central Africa. They tend to wallow in rivers and streams and, among other things, eat roots, fruit, seeds, nuts, birds, eggs, and insects. Quite the diet. All the food groups.
So cute. No, I would not. I don't really like bacon anyways, or pig for that fact, but such a cutie. I want a pig. Would you keep a pig?
Yes. Oh, like a little teacup pig? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
even the coloring on
I am a big fan of some like Dick Slab bacon,
Okay.
you know? So that kind of, those two things would
There
be
we
at
go.
odds, right?
How do we get here? Well, let's talk about weather now.
Yes, let's do that. Oh, wheels are coming off this morning. Let's go ahead and take a look at temperatures as we are right around freezing for the Tri-Cities, Hermiston, Yakima, Ellensburg. In these areas could be a little bit frosty, but don't you worry, folks. We're going to thaw out quite nicely a little bit later today with temperatures in the 70s for lower elevations. Lots of sunshine. Will actually trend warmer for Friday and Saturday. Little thunderstorm chances for Friday and Saturday in the Blue Foothills and the Blue Mountains, and some big time wind gusts in the Kittitas Valley, specifically for Sunday. That's when there's a first alert weather day, as some of those winds could gust around 60 miles per hour.
Looking like Chicago here, Windy City.
Windy City.
Thank you guys for watching Good Morning Northwest. You can always find updates on our website. That's applevalleyNewsNow.com.
Good Morning America is up next, and we'll be back with your local news and weather tonight at 5. Have a great day.